You know, regardless of how true it is, I was like, I'm going to think about Ethan's feelings and not mention this. Fast forward to
regardless of how true it is. What the f? This is like this is the most like manipulative, emotionally set of statements I've ever heard in my life. What the f?
I'm done being nice to Ethan. I gave it a chance.
Yeah, really, did you?
I wonder why I wouldn't mention the CPS call. I was hoping that if I made a video about Ethan, he would act like an adult and he would keep the attacks directed at me and Anissa. Unfortunately, I was wrong in thinking that because Ethan...
I'm sorry, bro. I need to go into school. I'm gonna retire from this dog shit work. This is such a stupid statement to make. I thought the responses would be just about me and Anissa. First of all, Anissa wasn't even part of your video. And secondly, all the other people were in your video. Why would you expect the response to only be at you when you brought in all the other people? What?
If I made a video about Ethan, he would act like an adult and he would keep the attacks directed at me and Anissa. Unfortunately, I was wrong in thinking that because Ethan, in a desperate attempt to attack and smear Anissa and I, he started attacking our charity event.
I don't know if you know this, but the last year they lost $250,000. To be charitable, you actually have to give money to charity, Hassan. You have to give money to be charity. It's like a slush fund for them.
Ethan and Hila are well aware that we raised $1.3 million for charity the first year of Creator Clash. The second year we operated at a loss, and I take full responsibility for that. We did band together. The community and the fighters involved ended up raising $175,000 for charity. It's been really disheartening to see how often Ethan will attack Creator Clash through us or attack us through Creator Clash.
Ian and Anissa, masters of putting on an event.
I need to be more I gotta do it. I'm gonna do it. I'll figure this out. I will figure this out. I need to be more shameless. I need to be more shameless. I need to do more. I need to do like a dono driver charity event. I have to just plug. This is so shameless that you would hide behind a charity so much. You're not supposed to do this shit just to make your bullshit attacks on other people unassailable. It's such a bullshit.
He's reposting random troll accounts that are very easy to vet. If you click on this profile, it has a bunch of Sam Hyde adjacent posts, and it just hates Anissa and I. Come on, dude, you're one step away from Hyde adjacent posts, and it just hates Anissa and I. Come on, it has a bunch of Sam Hyde adjacent posts, and it just hates Anissa and I. Come on, dude.
Okay, you should have went through that whole account to check to see if that person also tweeted. Okay.
Dude, you're one step away from calling me a cuck. Just take...
Like, you're one step away from calling me a cuck because you screenshotted a reply underneath a tweet that's joking, or the guy is saying that you didn't give a refund for a thing, and then you didn't go through that guy's entire post history. Remember what I said before? I'm going to there are some things I will continue to harp on, and this is going to be one of them. Different standards. Keep in mind the different standards, right? On their side... All right, I don't know anything about H3 Snark or any of these the CPS claims or any of that. I don't know anything about it. And then on Ethan's side, you posted a screenshot of somebody underneath Anissa's tweet, and you didn't even go through that person's Twitter history to see what else they might have tweeted, to see if it would have been improper to quote them in like a thing, even though, like, Jesus.
Take the plunge. He's highlighting this post that equates Creator Clash to a crypto rug pull. He's saying the event is going to be worse than TanaCon. Can't wait for them to blame us for their failed event. Don't worry, Hila. I'm not going to blame you guys for anything Creator Clash related. I know you're terrified of taking accountability for anything, so that will rest solely on my shoulders. But I can't speak for the internet. The internet might actually blame you guys for it. Now, with this recent revelation...
What the fuck? What? I would never call you an actual cuck who likes to watch his wife sell pictures of herself on OnlyFans and change his entire political opinion to match it. But the rest of the internet might say that. What is this? This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my entire life.
That people are just going to use Creator Clash to attack Anissa and I. Anissa and I have decided to step away from Creator Clash. We have relinquished control to our business partners who ran the previous two events. They're very capable. They know exactly what they're doing. They run events on a regular basis. The event is still happening. Anissa and I just don't have any financial ties. We don't have any ownership. We are, I think just going to be known as the founders of the event. Yeah, I mean, I think it had to come to this eventually.
That's crazy, dog.
I can't keep my mouth shut. I can't, I can. I just didn't want to. I want to be frank. I want to be honest. I was very quiet during the second creator clash because I was afraid of how that would impact.
Oh yeah, also this. Anissa, are you serious? Can you put quality modules in minors? Every minor is a quality. This thing, they go to this all the time. Is this person on drugs? Is this person on drugs? Really?
Impact other people. This year I said I'm going to do something different. I'm going to fight back if someone's trying to attack me. So that's what I did. And now I've realized, like, I can't really have my cake and eat it too. It's either you're going to talk shit like a foul beast on the internet, or you're going to have a charity event. You know, it really can't be both. I'm very proud of the event that we made with Creator Clash. It's still happening, June 28th. I'm just not going to be involved in it. Please, for the love of God, support this event. You know, I feel like in some ways I'm like cutting off an arm so that I could escape the bear trap, and so I can fight. Well, that's a bad analogy. You guys get it. We've already told all the fighters,
I don't get
and it seems like most people understand that this is the best move. If the previous content cop was entertaining to you, or this video is entertaining, or you like the
Wait, Chris in YouTube chat just said content deputy out. Can you link it?
message, the best thing that you can do for me is to support Creator Clash. Buy a ticket, buy a pay-per-view ticket, an in-person ticket, or donate to the fundraiser. I just want to see this event do well. You know, I didn't try this shit because I thought I was going to be a good boxer. I didn't think I would be an awesome event organizer. And you know, now I'm finally back to where I started, which is making fucking content cop videos. I don't want to make this too ham-fisted, but I kind of do want to make it ham-fisted because I'm like, I spent my last fucking 4 years working on this stupid boxing shit. I mean, it was worth it, absolutely. But like, it's crazy that I've just returned to content cop. Having said all that, Creator Clash ticket link down in the description. Go check it out, buy tickets, support the charity, support the fighters, and have a good ass time. I mean, ultimately, I think it's a good thing because I think I am meant to roll around in shit. I think me and Ethan are both meant to be rolling around in pig shit all day long, and other people are meant to do boxing or debating or whatever else. Ethan and me, pig shit rolling around type of fellas.
You underestimate my strength! I've got coach's strength! The will of Allah! I mean Yahweh! Yahweh!
I think the worst criticisms I labeled at Ethan is that he's a bad boss, a tyrant of a boss. I just implied that he was being taken advantage of by people either in his community or outside of his community.
This is so crazy. So much of this is so crazy. How do you maintain your sanity? Or I'm just, obviously, I can, because I'm a god, okay? But I'm trying to make you understand how difficult it is to maintain your sanity in the face of this kind of stuff. That was not all the video was about. The video was providing cover to all of the most unhinged shit that people have been saying about Ethan by pretending all of it has just been reasonable criticisms, and you're still engaging in the same behavior. Jesus.
And I called him a bitch-made coward. That was like the summary of personal insults labeled at Ethan. Before Ethan even knew what my video was about, he was already framing me as anti-Semitic.
But he's like, no, actually, Ethan, the Jew bag, this Jew bag Zionist baby killer, guys, right?
I don't know if that's what the video is.
I'm one of you. I hate Jews too, guys. Let's get after it. Israelis have no right to defend themselves, actually. All Israelis are settlers, actually. What is he going to give me a history lesson now? Is he a historian? Yeah, he just discovered empathy, by the way, and only extends to the point where you're actually talking about Jewish people or Israelis. Then empathy stops and they should all be murdered. Bro's actually out there like Timothy McVeigh. He's running to the closest kindergarten to blow it up. There's a Jew. I heard there's a Jewish.
That's not what Timothy McVeigh did.
They want all you guys to quit and for me to just be like alone.
Was that an old clip? Was that supposed to prove something?
Little Jew boy alone.
Like Ethan, under a year ago, was saying he doesn't use anti-Semitism in that way. He's not a guy to call anything and everything anti-Semitic.
You know, in my whole life, I've never screamed foul on anti-Semitism.
By the way, same. I stayed away from this for quite a while as well, but I'm pretty sure even I've switched up on some people. I don't even know where I'm at right now. Do I say it might not be anti-Semitic necessarily, but it's indistinguishable from it? I think my position has started to even get stronger on that. But like, I mean, you can only see, and you can only see so much before you're like, okay, this is just really weird. Like when you've got Hassan rapping, oh my God. When Hassan was like, I never said that you directly worked with the ADL. And then there's like a clip of Hassan saying, Ethan worked with the ADL. And Hassan was like, well, I just meant that you worked alongside them. And then there's another clip and Hassan's like, yeah, and Ethan partnered with the ADL. And then Hassan's like, well, I mean like, yeah, but like, I don't mean like partner, like you were a partner of, and it's like, what the f is happening? Why is this so crazy? Yeah, I don't know, bro. These people are wild.
I worked with the ADL? What does that mean?
Yeah, as in like worked alongside. I don't think you're in the ADL.
Oh, that's what you meant when you said I worked with the ADL. I worked beside them, just incidentally together. You didn't mean that I worked with them privately to get people banned? Of course not.
No, I do think that.
Didn't you say you choose your words very carefully?
Alongside the ADL.
You just told me briefly ago, you choose your words very carefully, Hassan.
Oh. Yeah, I choose my words so
not always.
carefully.
I'm famously...
Okay, we're walking
Not always? He literally said earlier when Ethan was trying to criticize him on that Theo Von show, and Hassan was like, I choose my words very carefully. And I was like, didn't you say you choose your words very carefully? Well, no.
Sometimes I speak out the side of my mouth when I say you work with the ADL. So. Here you are again repeating the lie with Steiny on video. Go ahead. You had time
constantly come after me when his knows I'm not anti-Semitic and making these inferences that I am and like partnering with like the ADL and
partnering with the ADL. You want to unpack that one?
When he says partnering, he means like you guys are partners for the Jews or something. I mean, Zionists, not like partnered, like actually partnered. Oh my God. Hassan's got to kill his internet connection. Dude, he's calling like he has to call in whatever favors. Holy shit.
Everybody?
He's got a DC. He has to disconnect. He has to disconnect.
Inferences that I am and like partnering with like the ADL and
partnering with the ADL. You want to unpack that one there, buddy?
Yeah. Again, partnering with the ADL. That is precisely what took place. I have never
spoken to the ADL, so what does that mean?
I'm not saying you directed the ADL
you know
to take
how
action.
silly
Well, actually, you know what? I am kind of saying that. I am implying that you directed the ADL to take action.
Well, that's a defamatory claim that has zero proof. And frankly, it sounds a little Jewish conspiratorial.
If I thought that you worked for the ADL, I have not spoken to the ADL. I would have said you worked for the ADL. Now, what's interesting to me, of course, about this is that
I do not work with the ADL
for these bans.
Hassan, I do not work with the ADL.
You were a part of the mass smear campaign.
That is not working with the ADL. Would you say that? I got nothing to do with the ADL. Blame Frogan for doing a racist channel at TwitchCon that became a viral story independent of me.
Channel, Ethan, just like Cracker.
Oh, Ethan should ask. Did Twitch work with the ADL then? Is that why Twitch banned them? So would you agree with that? That Twitch works with the ADL? Would you say that?
Is not an anti-white term, except public pressure clearly works on Twitch, and they make erroneous bans when they don't want people coming after them.
Here's Frogan repeating the same lie that you heard from you.
Pressure on numerous instances.
This is what you heard from you.
Everything in your power to push people to bully and harass me, including weaponizing propaganda organizations such as the ADL to get me banned off Twitch because I made a...
So she said I weaponized the ADL. You said I partnered with the ADL. You said I worked with the ADL, but you didn't mean that I spoke to them. You just meant that we were magically skipping along and happened to just, without even seeing each other, just working together in perfect harmony and love. And by the way, I'm pretty sure you're implying that I worked directly with them on this.
No, I don't.
Okay, well, you doubled down on it. You said that you do believe that, and I just want to let you know that is a.
No, I don't think you directly worked with them. I think your goals are aligned on this. Yes, and
you didn't directly work with them. You worked with them. You didn't directly partner with them. You partnered with them. He just meant that in the colloquial sense.
For Mr. Precise words, say that. Don't say you're partnered with the ADL. Do you understand? You said partnered with the ADL. Me, a Jewish man, you accused without any evidence at all of being partnered with the ADL. You're now trying to rewrite history and say I said you were working besides them. You are a liar.
What are you talking about?
You are a virulent liar.
True.
I literally have been getting this since the second I stepped foot on the internet, and I have never ever done this. Okay, so the people online, they're saying, "Oh, Ethan's making himself a victim," or "Ethan's making everything about anti-Semitism." I've done this once in my life right now.
But he's like, no, actually, Ethan, the fucking Jew bag. Fuck this Jew bag Zionist baby killer, guys, right?
This is how he characterized me before even watching the video. I would have to see the full context of this to be fair. Okay, so I will say that. It is possible that maybe Ethan's comments here are a bit strong, but like, bro, you're tossing your hat in the ring of a bunch of people who have been part of like one of the largest anti-Semitic community attacks on Ethan and everybody surrounding Ethan and all of the Israel shit for over a year now. Like, are you really surprised that somebody would have this reaction? Remember, whatever happened, remember, these are the guys that told you over and over and over again, okay? And Ian is part of this crew now. These are the people that told you over and over again, there is no such thing as a table with 1 Nazi and 9 normal people. That's just a table with 10 Nazis. They said this over and over and over again. Meanwhile, this guy is at a table with 9 Nazis and he's the 1 normal person and he says he just happens to be there. Like, it's crazy.
I don't know if that's what the video is.
I mean, I get that he's scared and offended, but this was the whole point of my video, Ethan. I was saying that you shouldn't be doing this. It led to me making this video in the first place. You were triggered by this CPS harassment thing, and then you immediately equated Anissa and I to it. That was sloppy, and that was
because that's where you pulled all of your clips from that video, and you didn't even mention the title of the video or what it was about.
horrendous, and it was horrendous for us. And now you're doing it again.
I'm gonna watch it live.
Should you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. But like, why?
Also, okay. This hurts, okay? This does hurt. This hurts, okay? I don't like to admit this, okay? I do think highly of myself, even though I try to be humble, all right? I do think highly of myself, all right? Especially when it comes to responding to things, politics, whatever the fuck else, okay? I don't think even I would watch a video like that live. I think I would review the video offline first. Like, I watched the whole Ryan Beard video offline, and then I'm thinking about, like, I'm probably understanding what I'm sure. The fact that that content cop, I think it dropped live, and then I think Ethan watched it, I think on the same stream. That's insane, okay? That is a incredibly fucking brave, okay, set of actions for Ethan to take there. That shows an ungodly amount of confidence in his position for him to do that. I don't think I would have done that. That's wild. But Jesus.
I just don't think, I feel like you're going to get really emotional and say something you regret.
Well, I've got the button.
Like, I know you don't have a problem taking it ahead.
Also, I want to say this as well, and part of this is from jealousy, I guess, but major props to Dan and all of the crew, by the way, that have stuck by Ethan, with Ethan, through all of this bullshit, because they are getting a lot of pressure externally. You don't see it. You probably don't even see a tenth of the insane amounts of crazy, unhinged, weird DMs that the H3 staff are getting. So they're getting a lot of those. They're still showing up on the show. Politically, I do think that people like Dan and them are more aligned, I think, with Hassan than with Ethan. And despite all of this, they're still there and they're still friendly and they still work for. I think that's super based. The crew here, even though I think most of them hate me, but I think these guys are super awesome. That's major props to these guys for all of that.
And on, but I just feel
of course not, because I know that
you're understandably upset, and I feel like it might be a little.
Should we wait to talk about it, or you want to talk about it?
You should do it off stream. Because I don't know. This escalated initially because we were live, and you guys were heated about. I forget what it was.
I just think it might be wise to watch it, think out your thoughts, and respond in a calm way. Because there's no chance that you don't get heated.
I don't need the fucking...
I will also say, too, for all the accusations of Ethan being an unhinged boss and being crazy, and also keep in mind, Ethan's been on the internet for a long time, right? He could be mega egotistical, or he could be a tyrant, or he could be a piece of shit. Not to say that, like, he's earned doing that, but I'm saying, like, he could be. It would be a lot of people that make it on the internet, you know, over time do get big egos. The fact that his staff feel comfortable like suggesting against something or pushing back against him on stream kind of seems to imply that he's not this tyrannical, horrible, evil overlord boss that people are saying that he is, right? Because Dan and who is the other guy? Is that AB? Fuck, I don't know all their names. This one, is that AB? Yeah, the fact that these guys are comfortable like recommending like, hey, you shouldn't do this. Hey, you might be making a mistake. It speaks well for all of them, I think, yeah.
Respond in a calm way. Because there's no chance that you don't get heated.
I don't need to fucking pre-watch this. I don't need someone else to hold my hand through it. Like, I'm ready to take on anything that these people have to say about me. He's like, no, actually, Ethan, the fucking Jew bag. Fuck this Jew bag Zionist baby killer, guys. I'm one of you. I fucking hate Jews too, guys.
You attacked us, so I attacked back, and now you're acting surprised and shocked, and you're doing it all on your podcast live. So naturally, you reacting live is you having an emotional reaction and seeing things that
too, guys.
You attacked us, so I attacked back, and now you're acting surprised and shocked, and you're doing it all on your podcast live. So naturally, you reacting live is you having an emotional reaction and seeing things that honestly are scary.
I just said I vented about them not defending me. What the fuck?
It's like so gross, and I hate that like nobody can view things reasonably, and it's all just like who's got the power, right? Who are the more popular people at whatever point in time. But like you really do need to see that this is some insane this weaponization of psych language, of whatever else you want to call it, this weaponizing all of this shit to be like, oh, like, you know, you were being emotional, you were having an outburst or whatever. This is unbelievably, it's like delegitimizing, or it's robbing you of your agency, or it's making you feel crazy. Like, it's all very gross the way that Ian talks about Ethan.
Fuck is he, like, he's actually losing his shit and I just can't believe it, dude.
Should you call him up?
So go fuck yourself.
I agree. Fair weather friends who are...
Okay, I didn't know that. I'm sorry. I will flip on Gila. That was unhinged. What did she say? Go fuck yourself? I didn't realize that she was having such an insane outburst on that live stream. So maybe Gila was out of line. I don't know. Maybe we'll see for Ethan. That was crazy.
So go fuck yourself.
Holy shit. Jesus. Okay, I didn't know she said that. Wow, my bad.
I agree. Fair weather friends who are so happy to be friends as long as they're getting something out of it.
Oh my God. Okay. Jesus.
Ian sucks for the same reason right now. He could say something.
Spineless.
Spineless? Ethan's wife is unhinged, and Ethan's wife's husband is losing it. Okay, I must not have watched the stream this day. Jeez, these are crazy.
Our POV is like everybody, and I don't want to hear any excuses. You're not my friend, and you never were, and you never will be. You never will be.
Wow.
What's very insane about this content cop is
Is that really? Bro, are you serious? Oh my God. Okay.
was thinking about Ethan's feelings so much in that video. I thought about the idea of like how I shouldn't be saying the term Zionist or Zionism in that.
Wait. And I was thinking about their feelings. This video is not their response to you, though, right? This was the CPS video. What? It sounds like he's implying that this video was his live reaction. Am I? Okay. There you go. Got him.
Were, and you never will be. You never will be.
What's very insane about this content cop is I was thinking about Ethan's feelings so much in that video. I thought about the idea of like how I shouldn't be saying the term Zionist or Zionism in that video because I was like, he has explained before that that's personally insulting to him and he doesn't like. He has like about Ethan's.
Never will be.
What's very insane about this content cop is I was thinking about Ethan's feelings so much in that video.
And wake up, Ethan. Wake up. Time to be awake, Ethan.
Wake up, Ethan.
This is no longer a dream. This is a nightmare. Wake up.
Ethan, the dumb bitch is telling you to wake up.
Wake up.
Ethan, wake up.
Wake up, Ethan. Ethan, wake up.
Friend, and you never were, and you never will be.
What?
You never will be.
What's very insane about this content cop is I was thinking about Ethan's feelings so much in that video.
Since anyone? Just wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up, Ethan.
I'm not gonna do a react content yet, chat.
I'm the same kid.
I thought about the idea of like how I shouldn't be saying the term Zionist or Zionism in that video because I was like, he has explained before that that's personally insulting to him and he doesn't like that. You know, regardless of how true it is, I was like, I'm going to think about Ethan's feelings and not mention this. Fast forward to
regardless of how true it is. What the fuck? This is like this is the most like manipulative, emotionally mindfucky set of statements I've ever heard in my life. What the fuck?
him reacting to my video, he's just outright calling me a fucking Nazi.
Is it a coincidence that Ian really shaved his head just before doing this video and he's holding a swastika one? I mean, we can free Palestine without being a Nazi. You fucking Nazis. How about that? Well, this is the white savior, Ian, who's just found empathy, unless you're Jewish, of course.
This comparison is not remotely similar, okay? Calling somebody a Nazi because you think that they're a Nazi or whatever, you can argue whether or not that's good or bad, by the way, is a lot different than calling a Jewish person a Zionist when they've been getting anti-Semitic attacks against them for over a year by a bunch of people who are, at the very least, indistinguishable from anti-Semites, if not actually anti-Semitic themselves. These are different types of things, right?
Ethan, people are allowed to shave their head and not be called anti-Semitic. I mean, if you're going to critique his...
I don't think it was the shaving the head thing that was setting him off there, Swastika sword buddy. I think it's the fact that you chose that fucking sword and decided to pose with it. Which, by the way, based, okay, if that was intentional, then I think that's Giga Chad, okay? I fucking go full send, dude. All right, I'm a child of the early internet. We know what era you come from, okay? Don't tell me the guy who did the content cop on Tana, okay? And the guy who roamed the big bad streets of YouTube with fucking Leafy, all right, doesn't understand the implication of choosing the fucking swastika sword. Come on.
podcast or be pissed off that he personally insulted you, even that is enough to be called anti-Semitic. It's fucking crazy. Now, I don't want to talk about Hassan's sword. I don't want to talk about Hassan's sword hilt because Ethan himself basically admitted already multiple times he doesn't think any of us did that intentionally. And he would be right.
Do I think any of them actually like wanted to put a swastika in the photo? No, that's...
Well, hold on. I would have to check the dates. Also, I would just full on disagree with Ethan here. But it might be that, was Ethan saying this before he had clips of Hassan literally calling it the swastika sword? Because that kind of changes things. Because I think, I don't know what my reaction was, but my guess is I would probably say the same thing. Like, I doubt did they really choose a swastika? They probably should have been aware of it, but did they really know? But then when clips of Hassan coming out and they're like, wow, that sword sure is sus. That's a swastika. Well, that changes things pretty significantly, no?
No, I don't actually think that. The chances that they...
Oh, he finds clip 2 minutes after that? Yeah, this is such a... whatever.
Put a swastika in the photo? No, no. I don't actually think that. The chances that they did on purpose is close to zero, right? So I'm not accusing them.
I picked up a random sword in Hassan's room that was laying around. That could be the end of the discussion. You don't...
Really, though? Does he have swords just laying on his fucking floor? What is this guy, the fucking Last Samurai? What are you talking about? Come on. You didn't look at anything? You just picked up the first thing that shined? And you were like, oh, I'm
don't actually need to debate Hassan about the sword hilt.
He left it up.
Decision-making
if it was a mistake, he could have deleted it.
But I'm not going to delete the photo because that would be indulging in your weird anti-Semitic fantasies.
We can free Palestine without being a Nazi. You fucking Nazis. How about that?
I'm done being nice to Ethan. I gave it a chance.
Yeah, really? Did you?
My sincerity and my empathy in that last video was real. I was even equating to him having crash out moments in the same way that Denims could have crash out moments. I think we're all capable of it, but he was using it in the video to suggest that I was making fun of his mental health.
To my good friend Ian of 8 years, I really appreciate you weaponizing my mental health against me.
To make Ethan crash out. He's having a parasocial weird crash out. People can have crash out moments. Maybe if Ethan's able to get some help. Dude, I'm not making fun of your mental health. Every example you used was me basically saying that other people are trying to affect you. It's understandable that you're going through this right now, Ethan. We all go through this.
To characterize anything I'm doing as crashing out, that I need help, that I need to get some kind of treatment, is cruel and pathetic on a level I didn't think he would ever be possible of doing.
Every fucking example that you tried to smear me with was me actually pointing to something else that could be affecting you. He even brought up the clip of me saying, if you get help. We all need help. Everyone on this...
Dude, it's such a joke. Please tell me his audience can see how disingenuous it is. When I said we need help, I mean, like, well, don't we all need help? There's nothing wrong with that statement. We all need help. Everybody needs a little bit of help, right?
Planet needs help. I don't care how you get it. You can wander into the jungle and go on an ayahuasca trip. I don't care how you get your help or what you define as help. But if it helps you, that would be good. Because right now it doesn't seem like you're getting much help. The main criticism that I was seeing online with my video from Ethan and Hila is that I didn't mention the CPS call.
There's really just one central point that I want to make here. My good friend Ian, in his hour-long takedown, did not mention one time Child Protective Services. Not one time.
There was not even one mention of CPS.
And a lot of the clips he uses is us fired up from the day that CPS came to us.
So, like,
without even explaining that at least that's the context, it's pretty cowardly.
I wonder why I wouldn't mention the CPS call. Could it be that the CPS call happened the same day that you were shit-talking me? And I didn't have any chance to defend myself? You just immediately, in the same pod...
You literally sourced the video where he's talking about it for the entirety of your content cup. What is he even talking about? What?
Podcast right next to each other said, CPS call was very traumatic. And then you said, Ian and Anissa. And you linked those together, you kind of layered those flavors, and then Anissa and I got a bunch of harassment. We had nothing to do with the CPS call. What are all these fucking...
Sure, maybe you didn't, but all the other people that you kind of brought into your video did, And it was the fact that you seemed to be co-signing their opinions, which you now admitted in your content cop you were. Because you called Ethan crazy for assuming that your silence meant that you were supporting their statements. And then in your content cop, you came out and said you were silent because you support their statements.
Comments on your Reddit saying like, it happened because of the CPS call. I don't entirely blame your audience for getting confused because number one, it's a fucking cult, and number two, you can't even get the timeline straight. So if anyone's watching your dumbass, their brain is also going to get scrambled.
Be friends as long as they're getting something out of it. So again, he's not showing the context. What was the okay, I'll play this part. Did you guys ever find the context of what I was talking about here? Because I feel like I wasn't even talking about him. I could be wrong. I just don't remember ever saying like, if I did say that,
I thought you were talking about them, about Anissa and Ian in that clip.
That's the same clip of
it's all the
when
part of the
CPS
same
was
clip.
called.
Yeah.
Same clip.
It's part of the same conversation.
You completely wiped your brain of what happened during the CPS stream. That's not my fucking fault. That's no one else's fault but yours.
All I wanted for you to do was say the bare minimum of like, hey, this is fucked up. This is not true about CPS, whatever. Like the bare minimum. It came up because they were talking about it on their fucking podcast. By the way, they're the ones that like started this conversation by talking about it on the podcast. Be like, hey, I'm not getting involved.
I think that was their response after you guys initially called them out.
This is what I was talking about. You cannot have something terrible happen, be like, yes, let's make some content, and then shit talk your friends of 8 years.
I'm so fired up.
Let's make some content?
Don't even know what to do with myself, which is why I'm coming on that. I don't know if that's a good state to be in live.
That's the kind of spitting.
And a lot of the clips he uses is us fired up from the day that CPS came to us.
For anyone confused about the timeline, Ethan was talking shit about us on his Instagram before any CPS shit. He was also talking shit about us on his podcast before any CPS visit. On March 7th, CPS visits.
Hey, dipshit! If you think he was talking shit about you before any of that happened, why didn't you include that in your video then? Why are you bringing it up now, motherfucker? What the fuck?
Ethan and Hila, and that same day they decide, let's do our podcast and let's have the topic be the CPS visit and how distraught we are about that. And then right next to that, right after it, you guys talk about me and Anissa. But you don't just talk about us. You shit.
Wow. Let's talk about some crazy event that's happening. And then right after that, let's talk about how we feel like friends that were people that we thought were friends are supporting this crazy event. What a completely and totally disconnected set of facts. What?
Talk us, and you imply that we're friends with people who are doing this, who are the ones who are harassing you.
Do you have evidence that H3 Snark called CPS on you?
Did I say
like
that?
Random anonymous Redditors?
Did I say that?
Wait, what's the...
I said they're primary responsible for harassing me.
Who called CPS?
I think a big part of all this confusion is Ethan unwilling to admit that there isn't a literal genocide happening and the IDF are not literal terrorists. He caved on those points so quickly to avoid conflict and is forcing to fight back from other angles besides... I mean, but to fight back on those angles, it's such a losing argument on like the wokey internet, and it requires like a level of understanding of things. It's just too much for these people. Like, I don't know.
What the fuck? So, I don't know.
To be honest, I'm very proud that I didn't immediately jump to Ethan and Hila's defense, because when you look into the story, it actually looks a lot shittier for Ethan and Hila. And I do mean that literally. There was this H3 stream where...
Oh no! And now he's gonna repeat the same attacks! No shot. No shot. He's not about to, is he?
Where Ethan was dumping as per usual. He was talking about his own health. He was talking about his caca breath, his dog having diarrhea, his dog having Giardia.
Olive has Giardia. It's a bacterial infection in the intestines that makes you have diarrhea.
His child running around putting things in their mouth.
Sonny's crawling around. He's putting everything in his mouth. He's at that age. He has Giardia.
The whole family possibly having Giardia.
Oh,
and now Hila has Giardia.
Shut. For real?
And now I think this morning I had diarrhea.
Oh my God.
What can I do to not get it from you?
I'm trying
because I'm not trying to get it.
No, it's extremely ridiculous to get. You have to ingest my poop.
Talking about the viscosity of his child's shit.
And although meanwhile he is covered in viscous, low viscosity diarrhea.
He mentioned diarrhea a lot.
Crazy diarrheas like
based. So the CPS call was justified. Based. Also, I don't know the answer here and I'm too lazy to look it up. So where are my doctors at? Okay. for contracting stuff that's like bowel related, isn't a lot of the stuff from pets? Can't you just like get it because like dogs and stuff poop outside and then they sit on furniture and stuff? Do you have to actually like, I don't know if you have to actually ingest their fucking shit to do it. I have no idea. But also, did they actually have Giardia 100%, or was this even confirmed, or did they just have like a fucking stomach flu or something? They never even had Giardia? Oh, okay. Well,
like in the middle of the night, all the time he's having these crazy diarrheas. You wash your hands as best you can, but these are really nasty diarrheas. And then extremely foul smelling diarrheas.
So of course, Ethan, having made so many enemies over the years, other people react to his content. And when other people see that he's talking about his children getting Giardia from dog poop.
Sonny's crawling around. He's putting everything in his mouth. He's at that age. He has Giardia.
Okay, so I know that Ian is about to justify people making content about this. Is Ian really going to say, so of course, people who saw this felt concerned and called CPS? He's not going to justify the CPS call though, right? He's just going to justify the content. He wouldn't justify the CPS call, right?
People are quite reasonably concerned. And so, yes, anyone who's seeing that content might be concerned enough to call CPS.
Somebody should do a content cop on him and how the human mind can change watching your wife do OnlyFans. Sam Hyde was 100% right. I am a Nazi now. Okay, I become he did it. Ian pushed me. I'm there. I renounced every bad thing I said. I am a full-on Sam Hyde neo-Nazi fan. He's got a good aesthetic anyway. Okay, he did it. I'm there. Sorry, Israel. Well, actually, fuck you guys now anyway, because you all are Trump supporters anyway. So, this is unreal. It's unreal.
Including Ethan's own chat, which, by the way, is not a measly number. It's about 26,000 at the time of this stream. So there are 26,000 people listening to Ethan go into great detail over 7 or 8 minutes about...
How long ago was this, though? How long ago was the Giardia stuff? When did the CPS call happen? Why didn't CPS show up until after, was it Bad Empanada? Who was the first one to start floating the CPS stuff?
Diarrhea, viscosity of diarrhea, his child having Giardia, him and his whole family having Giardia. They're calling it the poop house. Now what Ethan does, instead of taking any responsibility for sharing too much on his live stream, is that he decides to attack specific creators like Denims and say she was the source of the CPS call because her chat was reacting to Ethan and saying, wow, this is concerning.
Is on her platform right now advocating for our children to be forcibly removed from us by Child Protective Services.
The problem with this CPS thing is that Ethan has proven to be a manipulative piece of shit. So when he calls on me to defend him, what the f am I meant to do? I don't trust you, and I'm glad I didn't trust you, because in your video defending yourself, you used a video that takes context from like 3 different places and combines them to make...
Yeah, that's what context is, you retard. Context is looking at the totality of things that people have said to create a consistent like narrative or theme. It's not taking one quote and saying this is everything that happened. Why he's defining context. What the is wrong with this guy? Holy shit.
Make it seem like someone is coordinating an attack on you.
Love made a good point. You said, is this every comment? I believe this is a live feed of the chat. This isn't edited.
What about the top right? I thought these were
it's this, I think when you full screen it. No, this is an edit. It's a cutout of the full chat. It's just enlarged there.
Oh, really?
Over the screen, yeah.
They're different, I think.
Yeah.
It's not timed. It's not timed the same way.
But it sounds like based on this clip, you knew that it was bullshit and you just went with it anyway. Ethan Klein uses this very deceptively edited video that is just like doing this smooth scroll to make it seem like that's all of Denim's chat.
Apparently all those messages came from chat that day. They just cut out the irrelevant ones. So you could say it's a condensed version, sure. But I mean, it's nothing material is that different. It's just, they didn't include every single message. They just showed you all the ones related to the CPS thing.
But that's not what it is. And then when he's called out on it, he hides it. He moves his window over the real chat.
Also, this is not a joking matter, by the way. It can be very severe and deadly to small children. I mean, much like many other illnesses,
reading the chat, co-signing
it's very,
it.
very, very dangerous.
Now pay attention.
Wait, where else was he supposed to put his camera? They want to read what's on the bottom left. Do you really think he's trying to smoothly...
Real chat.
Also,
is he really trying to smoothly just cover up one part and hope that nobody on his 20, 30,000 view stream notices?
This is not a joke.
Reading the chat, co-signing
It's very,
it.
very, very dangerous.
Now pay
So I would
attention
assume
to
he doesn't
her
actually
chat.
have a housekeeper anymore, or perhaps he lost his extra housekeeper. So now the house is just like covered in dog shit, and he has kids, and his kids like.
Why does it have to be anyone else's fault but your own? Take some responsibility. It's just so bizarre that Ethan would expect Anise and I to make a statement when Denims herself already made a statement about it and said that she does not condone calling CPS.
So we're talking about CPS. 1, I don't condone. 2, I've never condoned it, and you will not be able to find a clip of me saying, yes, we should do this, because it doesn't exist. I've literally given Ethan Klein credit on multiple times or multiple instances, and I will do it again right now, for not showing photos of his kids.
Part of my criticisms of Ethan
So
initially
brave, Queen.
was the openness. I think
Somebody said Ethan doesn't control his cam placement on the show. Is that true?
it's a problem that you are that open, Ethan.
Well, you know I'm very open about everything as part of how I wanted to conduct myself and how I wanted to Now, at this point, as he continues, notice the chat is almost in complete universal agreement. Call CPS. Call child endangerment. CPS, social services. Bro needs to unironically call CPS. That's child endangerment. Okay, if his kids have Giardia, they need to be taken away. Actual worst father ever, etc., etc. I'll let the chat play for you, but you can see just how crazy this community is. And once again, this is Denims' chat from the 1st. The call came on the 3rd.
No, one day's house is covered in dog shit, and he's neglected children raised by nannies have contracted parasites previously unknown to science from the feces. I wonder why he skipped over all of this, because everything that he said, everything that I said in this story, which by the way was apparently compiled by his crew, playing.
No one of this motherfucker's always sick. Yeah, it all makes sense now.
By the way, these people can't keep their talking points straight. On one hand, it's we don't raise our kids and our house is just run by nannies and housekeepers. But on the other hand, we also keep our house so dirty that there's dog shit everywhere. I mean, what are the housekeepers and nannies doing?
It all makes sense now. It makes sense why he doesn't care about Palestinian children when he is neglecting his own. How are you? How is this happening? How is this happening? How is this happening?
I have a 10-month-old, a 5-year-old, and a 3-year-old who are in school. Of course, I'm sick all the time. Once again, these childless people pretend that this is uncommon when, of course, anybody with any sense who's being honest. The thing is, these people are knowingly lying. They know that they're lying. It makes no sense what they're saying, but they do it anyway. Because, as you can see in the chat, and Denims endorses this clearly, as you can see, she's not moderating this at all. And it's pretty much 100% of the comments saying call CPS on them. Their kids should be taken away. That she wants. She believes that it's justified to break up our family. This disgusting fucking human being, who's endorsed by Hassan and the entire left community on Twitch, who is protected and elevated by Twitch, is on her platform right now advocating for our children to be forcibly removed from us by Child Protective.
Somebody said this gave the timeline.
Services.
Okay, don't know. All right.
Relate to the audience.
No, fuck. That was the video.
Credit on multiple times or multiple instances, and I will do it again right now, for not showing photos of his kids.
Part of my criticisms of Ethan initially was the openness. I think it's a problem that you are that open, Ethan.
Well, you know I'm very open about everything as part of how I wanted to conduct myself and how I wanted to relate to the audience, is to be open as possible about every fucking thing in my life.
It is not strictly a benefit to be as open as possible on your podcast.
Ethan was just sharing his stuff.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God. I bet Ethan didn't know that. Ian, you're a master content creator. Jeez, nobody understands. Thank you.
That's what we were thinking. We were speculating.
Sonny's crawling around. He's putting everything in his mouth. He's at that age. He has Giardia.
We were speculating.
Oh,
and now Ela has Giardia.
Shut.
Be open as possible about every thing in my life.
Yeah, really? How many siblings do you have? I don't know, dude. The internet's too weird to give out all that information.
Oh, you don't even want to say how many because you're afraid that...
And then he brings up this train wreck podcast. What is this, 10 years old? How old is this one? Okay.
It will by all means keep talking about it.
On top of Ethan characterizing me and my wife as anti-Semitic, he also takes a dig at my tattoos.
Bro, you literally look like a fucking free tattoo pack that you get for 25 cents from a windy thing, bro. Like, literally, my kids have cooler fucking tattoos from Chuck E. Cheese. Bro looks like he just went to the menu and was like, I'll take that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one.
I have quite a few options here. I can show your tattoos in all of their glory, or I can show that your tattoo made it to the top of awful taste but great execution subreddit, which is not a good thing. I mean, it might be a good thing for the artists that you work with, because that means...
Why do you think he literally says that was too far? Pretty sure. Okay, sure, but like... Hold on, now I have to think. It's so hard. The theory of mind thing I said, it's been so hard with so many of these people. I can't tell if these comments these are real comments or if he's just being intentionally retarded. I don't think, I'm taking a guess here, I don't think Ethan would rank insults about his tattoos on the same level as suggesting that you call child protective services. Like, I seriously doubt Ethan would have a huge crash out if you said your tattoos are ugly. Now, maybe he would. I don't know. My guess is going to be he probably would treat those things a little bit differently. But, you know.
That they did a good job from a technical standpoint, but it's sort of a failure in every other aspect, particularly the decision-making aspect. If you want to go tattoo for tattoo, Ethan, we can do that. You want to keep it to other things? We can. I'll give you that option. Ethan also talks about the potential CTE that I might have after boxing.
Yes.
Ethan, your whole system is scrambled.
No, your brain is scrambled from getting punched in the face too many times because you don't understand the situation. Some people are saying the CTE is starting to take effect, I guess. That would be comforting if there was some explanation, at least.
Any amount of CTE that I may have endured after doing 2 boxing matches, I'm going to say is preferred over having to share the load of doing 50 jumping jacks with my wife.
Yeah, what if we we'll both do 25 at once?
Do 25 each? Or
Oh my goodness.
great form by both.
Really nice. They must work out.
Also, why are you talking about CTE at all? Like you.
Wait, I'm so sorry. I didn't understand this at all. Wait.
Comforting if there was some explanation, at least.
Any amount of CTE that I may have endured after doing 2 boxing matches, I'm going to say is preferred over having to share the load of doing 50 jumping jacks with my wife.
Yeah, what if we we'll both do
It must be. Maybe it is CTE, actually. I don't.
25 at once.
25 each? Or
Oh my goodness.
great form by both.
Really nice. They must work out.
Also,
He's making fun of him for being out of shape. Oh, okay. I mean, it's not really like the same type of insult though, right? Like if you tell somebody like, hey, I think you might actually be mentally retarded. Like, I think you're actually brain damaged. And the guy's response is like, okay, yeah, well, I think you're fat. It's like, okay. Okay, I guess.
So why are you talking about CTE at all? Like, you've continually illustrated that you can't keep track of anything.
It came up because they were talking about it on their fucking podcast. By the way, they're the ones that like started this conversation by talking about it on the podcast. Be like, hey, I'm not getting involved.
I think that was their response after you guys initially called them out.
He can't even keep straight who attacked who first. He thinks that our podcast where we're expressing sympathy for him and Hila was the impetus for him talking shit about us. I much prefer boxing-induced CTE than harassment-induced CTE. Ethan acts like we're such great friends and that like he shared such intimate moments with me, but it's all horseshit. He's lying. Like the whole thing is a lie. He's manipulating his audience. We did not have a close relationship.
You guys were buddies for a long time.
He texted me like one time like, hey dude, we should talk this out. And I was like, I don't feel like having this conversation right now. That's it. So Ian kept trying to get me on the phone or text with me. And I told him, dude, honestly, I don't feel like having this conversation right now.
Okay.
Fair, right? I just didn't want to do it. Okay?
Just in that particular moment, and then like at all?
Well, it turns out I didn't want to talk to him at all.
Okay.
If the relationship was that close, you would have talked to me on the phone. You wouldn't have shit-talked me. You would be...
Well, didn't Ethan end up saying that the reason why he ended up not talking to him at all was because it seemed like the conversation just wasn't going to be productive? Because Ian was saying something like, I feel like I remember this from the content thing, that he said something like, the way that Ian was texting, he wasn't going to concede anything, or he was just going to tell Ethan to get help or something. Basically, that's what it sounded like, I think.
Curious where my brain was at and where I was coming from. There's this moment in the Content Cop where I'm trying to give an example of the cycle of harassment. Have you ever been in a comment section and found someone to argue with? It doesn't stop. It can literally go on forever if you don't want to touch grass.
I mean, yeah, this was kind of... Okay, what does that have to do with me?
I don't know.
Are you okay?
Ethan and Hila act like they have no idea what I'm talking about here. So, I mean, maybe they don't. It's a very obvious and easy to digest point. That's why I made it that way. I'm going to explain it here so everyone on the internet understands. When you have a podcast where you are constantly emotionally dumping and saying things just off the top of your head, and you're attacking other people randomly, maybe from your perspective it's not attacking. Maybe you're just commenting on someone else's situation.
He's got to be one of the most visually repulsive people. FaZe Banks, like, in my opinion...
I know that he's not about to say every single thing that would apply very equally to Denims and Frogan and everybody else, right? Listen to what Ian just said here.
Dumping and saying things just off the top of your head, and you're attacking other people randomly. Maybe from your perspective it's not attacking. Maybe you're just commenting on someone else's situation.
He's got to be one of the most visually repulsive people. FaZe Banks, like, in my opinion, he's somewhat repulsive to look at.
And being
pedophile. Pirate Software was like weird about it. It's like, look at my old voice, it's so lame. What an obnoxious loser. She goes, I can't believe these people are so obnoxious. And he looks like an idiot who's obsessed with me, dude.
But what happens when other people comment on your situation? It doesn't feel too good, does it?
But he's like, no, actually, Ethan, the Jew bag, fuck the Jew bag Zionist baby killer, guys, right?
I don't know if that's what the video is.
These are unironically like gamer bro or frat boy recycled arguments about racism or misogyny. Like, I play online games and people call me, you know, all the time. Why can't I call you the N-word? Come on, bro. Like, we all get harassed. Like, I should be able to call black people the N-word because I play online and I get called names all the time. Like, it's not really the same thing, bro. Like, what are we talking about? Hello?
That is the back and forth I'm describing. You might have thought we were just saying that Ian and Anissa are bad friends. Well, guess what? We didn't take it that way.
Our POV is like, everybody, and I don't want to hear any excuses. You're not my friend, and you never were, and you never will be. You never will be.
What we took it as is Ethan and Neil are shit-talking us. They just implied that we are okay with people using CPS as harassment, and now all of their fans are brigading us. So I am going to respond in kind and make a content cop. So yes, that is what the cycle of harassment looks like.
Okay, what does that have to do with me?
I don't know.
How about you Nazis? How about that?
You might think that all of the harassment you're getting has everything to do with your politics and your idea of Israel-Palestine.
It does.
But a lot of my gripes were centered around you dragging me into your shit. You know, you knew that you were going through a lot and you were saying, I'm hurting, I'm now going to make them hurt because they're not putting their head on the chopping block. Fuck you, you're a piece of shit. I'm sure there's anti-Semitic people that are attacking you guys, but they're not me, they're not Anissa. It's not Hassan, it's not all of these other creators that you're attacking. You're not the biggest victim on the internet, Ethan. Other people can experience a horrible time. And guess what? They're not...
Also, can I just say who the most snake person is out of this entire situation? Holy fuck. The most snake out of the entire situation is f***ing Hassan. I don't know if Ian has any idea what the f*** he stumbled into in all of this, okay? But Ian comes out, makes this whole ass retarded f***ing video, okay, trying to give cover to Hassan and all of his cringe lefty LARPer loser friends. And then when Hassan is tasked with defending it to Ethan, Hassan is like, oh, I don't know. I don't speak for the content cop, or I can't do anything. I'm not going to defend that. Or I was like, damn. Hassan throws Ian under the bus in record time because he saw how lackluster the reception was. Unbelievably fucking snake clout obsessed behavior. Holy shit.
Getting this other benefit, which is
he basically used Ian as like a J-Dam, and then when it missed, he's like, oh, I didn't do it. Like, unironically, it was like
light year.
It's the end when he tells the guy to come in, and Kira's like,
you didn't realize.
Kira's like, I don't know that guy. That was Ian. I'm not gonna be able to find it. Pretend I found the reference immediately and it was sick, okay?
It's a horrible fucking time. And guess what? They're not getting this other benefit, which is 26,000 viewers. You're getting a lot of money and a lot of content, a lot of things that you care about from these beefs and from this harassment. There are a lot of people that you've just bullied.
What?
26,000 viewers. You're getting a lot of money and a lot of content, a lot of things that you care about from these beefs and from this harassment. There are a lot of people that you've just...
I love how he puts harassment in quotes for Ethan. When Ethan gets it, it's like LOL harassment. But when it happens to, one of the MLs, one of the lefties, one of the pro-pallies, it's real harassment.
Bullied, and they have nothing to gain out of it. Frogan isn't making a bag from this. She's not getting content out of this.
She literally has made content out of this, a ton of it. What are you talking about? What?
You're attacking her in relentless ways and endorsing so much worse harassment than what even you send her way.
What? So much worse harassment? Like what? Frogan literally inserted herself into all of this. What are you talking about?
The shit he said and posted about Frogan over the past
nasty,
years is
very
like
mean.
insanely nasty shit.
Yeah.
Worse than anyone I've seen. If this is true, absolutely mind-blowing, insane shit.
Hold on. It's not worse than anything you've seen. How could it be worse than anything you've seen?
Literally, no. I guess
he was
not.
very nasty. Well, I'm just saying, people like fucking want to like get lay down and fucking like.
I'm talking about specifically
castrate,
against Frogan.
But like he called her fat, right, and ugly, which is horrifically mean. I get called a fucking baby killer.
I was talking specifically about
That's way
Frogan.
worse than being called fat and ugly, in my opinion.
It's true.
Also, on top of Ethan and Neela constantly victimizing themselves, I did notice that as soon as we didn't immediately jump to Ethan and Neela's defense, Ethan took that to heart and he started to make that his employees' problems. Instead of just...
Make it his employees' problems. They all do a show together. What are you talking about?
You know, sucking it up and taking on himself, he decided to imply that Lena is going to have a problem with that.
A lot of this has ramifications for the crew. The way that they have it set up is basically, if Lena were to drop out, she would lose, like, she would have to pay back like $25,000 or something like insane. And besides that, which I told her I would cover if she wanted to drop out, she's working really hard. And just because I'm having an issue with what's going on here.
You bringing up Lena dropping out of the fight was you publicly showing to your fans, like, I don't approve of this. You were saying this shit before the content cop even came out.
Which I told her I would cover if she wanted to drop out.
But now you are saying that you didn't have a problem with any of it until I made the video.
I was totally on board until the organizer put out a video calling me a psycho.
That's totally normal. What do you were okay until I put out a video that was co-signing all of the most insane and unhinged attacks against you, and I'm the lead organizer of the event? Yeah, no shit.
Path or harassing his friend.
Obviously, Ethan and Neela will victimize themselves every chance they get. But when they have the chance to victimize someone else who's on their crew, they'll also do that.
You already forced Lena into this horrible situation. And again, you forced this situation on her.
I forgot to care about Lena.
Why would I do such a thing to Lena? Dude, you have as much agency as I do. You didn't have to badmouth me on your podcast. That was a choice that you made.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree. My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up.
Oh, the organizers of this event are not jumping to my defense? All right, well, maybe instead of shit-talking them, maybe I should zip it.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree. You already forced Lena into this horrible situation. And again, you forced this situation on her. By the way, iDubbz, Lena's fucking having a panic attack.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree.
But you're just lobbing it to me and Anissa. I'm lobbing it back to you. You're the one who brought it up. If you lob it back to me and you say, well, I didn't have your back publicly. Well, fuck you. I'm going to lob it back and say, you're being irresponsible on your podcast and you're not taking any accountability for the shit you're putting out online. I think that's going to do it for this video. There's a lot more that I can share, but I'll save that for the future. And in closing, I will reiterate so that, you know, there's no ambiguity about it. Anissa and I are no longer involved in Creator Clash. We're stepping down completely. We hope that the event is a
I'm sure that it's going to definitely be successful now that you've had some of the largest talent, one of your headliners, by the way, dropped from the event, Harvey Morenstein, and now that you guys are like obviously the most popular people associated with it, now you're stepping down from the event. Like, Jesus.
Massive success this year. We hope that all of the fighters get what they wanted out of it. I'm sorry that I'm such a fucking nasty person who just wants to roll around in the shit. I'll put the link to Creator Clash down in the description if you want to support them in their mission to get creators to fight and raise money for charity. You can do that down there. I will...
Sorry, Harley, not Harvey, my bad. Fuck names, okay.
Be doing that on my own, and I hope you guys...
By the way, when that Creator Clash event fails, they will 1 trillion% be blaming Ethan and all of them for it. 100 billion trillion%.
Have a good time. Also,
iDubbz is trying to make money for himself and Creator Clash, right? I mean, I think their intentions are good with Creator Clash. I'm not going to be unhinged like Hassan and all these retards and claim that everything they're doing is horrible and evil and whatever, but
So for all the people who touch grass, I want to remind you to click the like button on this video, not so it goes in your algorithm or anything, just specifically so that we can add a counter narrative, or I can get an idea of how much astroturfing is out there, because I know that a lot of these fuckers, they love their dislike button extensions. And I saw that shit and I was like, what the fuck? These are all like fabricated numbers. The like-dislike ratio was like 80-20 on my video, and then they tried to create a narrative of like, no, people actually hate this content cop, guys. It's actually so much worse. Like, bitch, like, people were more upset with like my wife being on OnlyFans. You're not gonna convince the internet that fucking Ethan Klein isn't being a piece of shit. Like, sorry guys, it doesn't matter how many dislike extensions you have.
We can free Palestine without being a Nazi, okay? Yeah, fuck you guys too, okay? How about you fucking Nazis? How about that?
It's blatantly and obviously fucking disingenuous. This shit blew my fucking mind. Like, this is fucking insane. And like, dangerous. He is going out of his way to slander you as a neo-Nazi. Like, that can get you hurt.
Thank you, Ethan Klein. You are my best friend.
Okay. Well, that was good, cancer.